The monthly reports are out on both Squadron 42 and the PU, and it's pretty positive stuff. I'm Neil, Chief of Team Brigade, and looking for the reports here, I've come across a couple of things that have got me excited. We knew early on that to hit the fidelity we expected for Squadron 42, we would need to do some R&D on bedsheet deformation. This work is currently underway, and if successful, will allow the AI to deform their sheets when entering, exiting, or sleeping inside them. We have seen some deformation in clothing and tarpaulin or ship covering in some previous CitizenCon videos, and it all looked very exciting back then. So this is one thing on my radar for the future. It would be pretty cool to be able to pull a cloth type cover over you, whether that's a bed sheet or something out there in the world, such as that tarpaulin, to hide under or hide your stuff, your crate full of junk or ship, etc. Very cool indeed, and I'm glad to see they've begun some extra work on this, even though it's going to be a tough job to complete. There is a ton of work still happening on the AI side of things for both Squadron 42 and the PU. We are starting to see more of this in Inside Star Citizen, and also in the PU with 317. I'm excited to see this. This is big for Squadron 42 to see if it actually holds up to the challenge of being a next-gen AAA title. This one caught my eye as well. Over here in animation, a new mission giver is described. In the PU right now, we do have a couple of mission givers missing in New Babbage, and there are none in Orison. But I wonder if this could be a pyro-related mission giver. We haven't seen fire and extinguishing those fires in footage, etc. for a number of months, and one of the feature teams has gone back to working on that tech. This is going to tie in really nicely with the upcoming engineering gameplay that they have also been working on, as well as life support. Very excited about this. Probably still quite some distance off, but is going to really be a game changer and really bring in some much needed gameplay when it does for crew members. Elsewhere, work is almost complete on several small locations. The Sandbox team is planning to release in an upcoming patch. The areas themselves are finished and are currently awaiting a distribution pass across Stanton. This has my interest piqued. I did have a look on the progress tracker and I couldn't see anything finished in April for any of the Sandbox teams, other than Microtech Lagrange points here that may have finished early. I'm not too sure, but it would be interesting to know exactly what these points are. Perhaps they are some derelict sites, maybe some decrepit hubs or shanty towns maybe. Interesting to find out what those are. Talking of those shanty towns, I am also excited about finding them in the new Lorville Cityscape revamp coming up from the Montreal team. They say that work is progressing well and they're confident that the new scale of the city will support a lot of interesting future opportunities, and I can only imagine we will get the ability to land on the top of some of the buildings like we can in New Babbage and open up areas where missions can be completed in the future, and perhaps some surprises such as secret loot. Maybe we can break into an apartment for a mission and steal some goodies inside. Also, over at the Montreal Tools team, they have been integrating Houdini into the editor, allowing everybody to be able to use Houdini-powered tools directly into that editor. And while I'm not particularly techie myself, that does seem like quite a big deal. Also in April, the UI team, which has expanded recently, has made progress on that new star map and also the radar UI. Again, excited about this and have been for some time. UI is something that's quite important to me for the enjoyability of what we have currently in the PU. They are implementing controls enabling them to look around solar systems and view planets and orbits and vehicles within that star map. They do say, although rough around the edges, the groundwork is there for us to add functionality and start improving the visuals. Things are progressing nicely and the pace has definitely picked up. We're not there yet, but while we're waiting, let's take it easy, citizens.
One all team!